Good morning, it's MJ with Crow Tarot. Thank you for stopping by the Roost. Today's reading is for Wednesday, March 20th, and it is a general reading for the collective. Every day, my purpose is to create a reading that will connect, maybe more broadly for some and maybe narrow for others. And if you find that this reading connects to you, that just makes my heart swell. If it doesn't apply, give it some time. Maybe there's something in there that you aren't looking at, or maybe there's information that if you apply it to your situation, it may benefit. But again, this is a collective reading, so let's see what the cards have for you guys and me this morning. So for the foundation energy, we have Judgment. And sorry if you can hear, Layla is chewing on one of her toys. We have the Nine of Wands. Oops, you just came out. Okay. The King of Wands. Nice. Okay. So let's get started, shall we? So Judgment in the past. This indicates that there was probably a big shift. A time when you perhaps looked at yourself from a different lens and saw yourself as a whole being, that you weren't your history, you weren't your culture, your parents, you weren't the deeds of the past, you weren't mistakes or successes, and you owned it all. You owned everything as a whole, and you moved forward into a new life where you are able to approach situations in life and opportunities with a wisdom that only comes with accepting who you are. And it's a very enlightening time for you during this moment. Whether it was last week or if it was 30 years ago, this would have been a big shift for you. We have these crows that are rising up from the markers, and they're leaving a little bit of themselves behind. It's not that they don't take the rest with them, but they leave what doesn't serve them, and they're answering the call. They have to face it, the mountains in the background. I mean, that you're not going to be able to move into this place, this new space in life, unless you acknowledge where you've been and the mistakes that you've made, or the your history. You can't escape your history, but you can not let it you don't have to let it constrain you or define who you are, right? People who say, like, well, my parents are this, or my parents are doctors, so therefore this is how I must live my life. Well, that doesn't necessarily need to be. Or the mistakes of the parents. If my father was a criminal, my father was a horrible person, right? That doesn't make me a horrible person. I'm not the sins of my father. Yet we hold those things in. We treat ourselves as though we are, those people, or that we are somehow related or to their mistakes, or that we won't ever become anything because of what people do in the past or what we did in the past. This could be the person who, maybe shoplifted a lot in high school and was just a all-around terror, and when they own that history, when they own who they are and acknowledge that does not make them, that does not define them, right? They're not their past mistakes. That's when you can move forward. But if you allow yourself to say, well, you know what, all I am is a good for nothing thief, right? Or all I am is a good for nothing, bad student, or I'm never going to be able to learn. Well, that's what keeps you down. So here with Judgment, this is where you owned everything. You saw who you were as a, from a higher perspective. You connected with a spirit in a way that helped you elevate yourself up and out of a mindset that was holding you back. But now here you are, you in all this work that was accomplished, you found great strength in this. You came together with others create something, whether it be working towards your life, or building a family, or creating a community around you. You did all these things, and you're working hard, and you had so much fire in your belly. So this prompted, whatever this was, this prompted action, and it prompted you to think of yourself from a different perspective, and to see yourself more creatively. And here with the sun, the clouds is sort of, depending on how you see it, the sun is being blocked by the clouds. And this to me is saying, it's okay, it's time for the sun to rest. It's time to take a break, time to move out of the spotlight for a little bit, because you need to rest. What happens when we become exhausted is we trip. And when we trip, bad things, you can break an ankle, you can smash your face, you can cut your hands open, like I did a couple weeks ago. When we become too exhausted, we don't function. We're no good. We're no good to anyone, right? If you're a parent and you're just exhausted, you're not as good of a parent. You're less able to think see, look, I'm exhausted creatively. You're not able to see solutions as clearly when you have a foggy mind out of exhaustion. You're more apt to make mistakes. So the story of this crow is that he or she put all these wands up, and now he's struggling, or she's struggling to get this last one up, and she's so close to these ones that if she stumbles and falls, she's going to knock over all of her progress. And all the progress that was made to get up and elevate is gone because of exhaustion. So the message here at the center of this card is, take a break. You've worked hard. You've earned it. Relax. There's no reason to be the Viking here. We have this Viking or victim mentality. It's like, it's the person who goes to work with 104 temperature because heaven forbid they take a day off. It's like the person who won't allow themselves to take an afternoon nap after being up for 24 hours working on a project. You need to take care of yourself and your body, because when you allow this time to break, when you allow time to heal yourself, you will find strength. You will find that. And here we have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands, I love this card because he's just such a powerful creature. But not only is he powerful, he knows how to tame himself. He knows how to regulate his emotions, and when to work, at a breakneck pace, and when to lay back. And because of this, he has this emotional intelligence about him. It's just, I love this king. And so you see here, the crow and the lion are on equal footing. The size is the same. So they draw energy from each other equally. So they work together in tandem. So we have the very logical, swift-minded crow, and the very brave and graceful lion. So here they join forces, and the sun is back out. And when you get to this point, you'll be able to shine. You're going to work with integrity, and you're going to work knowing that you are who you are. You have your limitations, and guess what? It's fine. It's okay to have limitations. You are not a robot. You're a human being. And if you need to rest, allow for it, because that's when your creativity is going to blossom. Allow for time to heal and to recuperate. Maybe let somebody else pitch in. If you're a parent, you don't have to be super parent. Maybe allow somebody else to come in and help you out. If it's, not your partner, then another family member who can help if you have a newborn or something like that. I know from experience, it's really hard to let that stuff go. Oh my God. I was a control freak when my daughter was a baby. I had to do everything. And at the end of the day, it's not good for you, for your health, and it's not good for a child if they have a stressful parent. And that goes for everything, even from work. If you're working your butt off and you're trying to finish a project, and you're trying to take care of something and you think that you're the only one who can handle it, that everything falls on your shoulders, well, some things might, but delegation is one of the biggest strengths that you can have at this time, and learning how to delegate is going to save you. There's always somebody out there who can help you with something. It may not be an immediate thing that you're working on if it's something with your job, but there's always somebody who can pick up the slack somewhere. And so here, the Nine of Wands is saying, let somebody pick up the slack for you, just a little bit. There's no reason to push yourself harder than you need to. And here you should know your limitations because of Judgment. Here you should know what you value most of all. And so here with the King of Wands, you're going to find success. There will be infinite possibilities when you allow time for rest and let like that steady flow, go in and out, and let things sort of ease up a bit. So I think, this is a great Wednesday reading, because we do like Monday and Tuesday, we're like full steam ahead. And then Wednesday, that's when you start kind of feeling it a bit. And then, you want to save your strength for the weekend, right? So you want to be able to finish your tasks without ruining any progress that you already made. How many times have you ever, I've done this in creating like a piece of art. I used to make lighting, and I would get so worked up in finishing a project, and it would be like at the very end, just as I was about to be finished, and it's like out of exhaustion, I would make a stupid mistake, and I would cut with an X-Acto knife a piece, because I was cutting paper and things like that, and I would cut the piece that I didn't want to cut, and ruin basically all of the work I had put into it, and then you have to start over. So here it's allow time, measure twice, cut once, that kind of thing. It's just allow for time. So, and rest, allow yourself a break. You deserve a break. We all deserve a break every now and then. And so this one is saying, do it before you mess up a project or a relationship, or or how you feel about yourself. There's no reason to trip. You've got plenty of help, and you've got plenty of hands to help you stay afloat. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this reading, and I will talk with you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.